Hi everyone, this is Shubham on behalf of CLAT Possible, and today we'll be covering all the Chandrayaan missions on the occasion of the third Chandrayaan mission launch. As you might be aware that has recently happened. अभी बहुत ही recently Chandrayaan 3 launch किया गया है and it was successfully conducted. And due to this occasion, हमारे लिए तीनों चंद्रयान मिशन यहाँ पर इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएंगे बिकॉज क्लैट कैन आस्क अ पैसेज ऑन चंद्रयान मिशन and they can ask from any of them. So we'll cover all three of them briefly. Starting with Chandrayaan 1. Now, when we talk about Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 1 was launched by ISRO in 2008. And ye jo tha, this was India's first probe, which actually verified the presence of water on the moon. So this was a very successful mission, jahan par ISRO confirmed the presence of water on the surface of the moon. This was the first mission to do so. Now, here we had a moon impact probe. So Chandrayaan 1 carried a probe. Now, what is a probe? It is basically an impactor which will just fall on the surface of the moon और वो मून की मिट्टी को, मून के एटमॉस्फेयर को एनालाइज करेगा और वो डेटा इसरो के पास भेजेगा. So that moon impact probe was actually the device or the carrier or the payload which confirmed the presence of water on the moon. Now, when we talk about Chandrayaan 1 launch किस चीज से किया गया था और कहां से लॉन्च किया गया था, the exact launch date was 22nd of October 2008 and the launch was carried from the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. PSLV C-23 was the exact name of the launch vehicle, and this launch was again conducted from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. इसके अलावा when we talk about moon impact probe, apart from this moon impact probe, Chandrayaan 1 ने 11 टोटल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स कैरी किए थे, जिसमें से 5 इंस्ट्रूमेंट इंडियन थे और 6 इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो थे वो फॉरेन इंस्टीट्यूट या स्पेस एजेंसीज के थे, जिसमें नासा, यूरोपियन स्पेस एजेंसी, द बल्गेरियन अकेडमी ऑफ साइंसेज, ब्राउन यूनिवर्सिटी एंड सर्टन यूरोपियन एंड नॉर्थ अमेरिकन इंस्टीट्यूट्स और कंपनीज के भी यहाँ पर वी हैड कैरीड इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. So this was a very important achievement that दुनिया के काफी सारी कंपनीज और ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस इंडिया के पास आ रही हैं अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स को चांद पर भेजने के लिए. So it was a major success. Now we move on to Chandrayaan 2. यहाँ पर we tried something very optimistic और काफी हद तक ये सक्सेसफुल हो सकता था. We'll talk about it. Now Chandrayaan 2 carried 3 particular devices. So it also had an orbiter और ऑर्बिटर जो मून के अराउंड घूमने वाला था. देयर वाज अ लैंडर जिसका नाम रखा गया था विक्रम, एंड देयर वाज अ रोवर, बेसिकली अ रोबोट हु कैन वॉक एंड navigate on the surface of the moon, which was called Pragyan. And this Chandrayaan 2 mission was launched from a GSLV Mark III, geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle Mark III, on 22nd of July 2019. और ये सारे के सारे ऑर्बिटर, लैंडर, रोवर, इंक्लूडिंग द लॉन्च व्हीकल, ऑल वर डेवलप्ड इंडिजिनसली. सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मिशन इन इटसेल्फ. अब चंद्रयान 1 के थ्रू हमने एक ऑर्बिटर और इम्पैक्टर तो पहुंचा दिया था, बट द मेन पॉइंट वाज टू गेट अ लैंडर एंड अ रोबोटिक रोवर. नाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर objective we were not able to achieve, but the orbiter we were able to place, and we got a lot of information again to specially explore the south pole region of the moon, which is very less explored क्योंकि वो dark side of the moon भी उसे बोला जाता है, और उस साइड पर हमने ज्यादा एक्सपेरिमेंट्स नहीं किए हैं एज अ ह्यूमन काइंड. नीदर नासा नॉर ईएसए नॉर इसरो, किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने डार्क साइड ऑफ द मून पे ज्यादा रिसर्चेस नहीं किए हैं, और चंद्रयान 2 ये करने वाला पहला मिशन था. Now coming to Chandrayaan 3, which was obviously launched on July 14th from again the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. The exact time of launch was 2:35 p.m. I hope आप लोगों ने देखा होगा ये लॉन्च. यहाँ पर we have again sent Vikram and Pragyan because वो चंद्रयान 2 में फेल हो गए थे. So these two landers and rover were same. इसके अलावा we had also a propulsion module. Okay, and this launch was carried by launch vehicle Mark III. Okay, LVM 3 के द्वारा ये लॉन्च किया गया था. And When we talk about the LVM-3, the LVM-3 की हाइट जो है इट्स 43.5 meters, and जो lift off mass है it's of 642 tons. So lift off mass is basically the mass of the launcher and alongside the fuel. लिफ्ट ऑफ के जस्ट पहले उस लॉन्चर की जो मास है उसे हम लिफ्ट ऑफ मास बोलते हैं, दैट इज 642 टन्स। ओके, जब हम पूरे मिशन की बात करते हैं इंक्लूडिंग ऑल द पेलोड एंड द रोवर, द वेट ऑफ द एंटायर मिशन वाज 750 kg। ओके, so the launch has been conducted successfully. Now from this launch this month in August 23, this is expected that Chandrayaan 3 will complete the landing. So the total time it will take is 42 days. And after the land, the lander and rover will work for one lunar day. One lunar day is basically 14 Earth days. Moon ka ek revolution around the Earth is one lunar day, which is 14 Earth days. Because lander and rover जो है वो solar energy पे काम करेंगे, and because we are going on the south pole again, which is a dark side of the moon, the energy will only for 40 days. So 14 days will be the life of the lander and the rover. And the landing site, again, as I have already told you, is near the lunar south pole, which is the least explored area. And that is why Chandrayaan 3 से बहुत सारी expectations है new discovery की. And obviously we cross our fingers that we are able to discover something new. Obviously we have been known for going ahead with the cheapest and the most affordable launching. Chandrayaan 3 was another example. And if we are able to gather more information, because we have already proven that there was water on the surface of the moon, but with regards to especially origin of the solar system, a lot of important discoveries can be made by inspecting the lunar south pole. I hope a lot of information you were able to gather from this video, and thank you for attending. Happy preparation.